Oh man, Jim Rohns got me super excited when he talks about reasons. And tonight, I would like also to talk about the song, but I'll rephrase my topic differently. I'm going with why reasons matters. I once attended a seminar, and there was this old lady who was giving a lecture on defensive failure. In a speech, she used an intriguing story of her life, and I got hooked up. I might as well start with it tonight. The old woman said that when she was growing up, she never ever took interest in checking up her diet or do exercises. She didn't have any active hobbies. She didn't play any sports, and she was basically well known for saying she would only learn if a bear chases her, which typically never happened. So that went on for about 34 years until one day she woke up with an infant having 2.5 year old and her back that aches all the time. In that moment, she realized that if she wouldn't become stronger, healthier, and more flexible, she wasn't going to become a kind of mother she hoped to. The kind of a mother who could chase around her kids at the park, or pick them up and swing them around, or sit on the floor for 5 minutes to play Legos. She got in a situation where she was compelled to do up all such things to become a mother of her dreams. The first time she worked out, she stumbled in all the challenges that makes one feel incompetent, and try convincing him that those doing it okay are born talented and that it's just genetic for them, so she should just quit. Now, where it went ballistic for me is when she said, but when I remembered why I started the workouts, to engage in healthy diet, looking after my health, that was no turning back. Man, that was just staggering for me. It brought out a new perspective. Mr. Shelf would call that if one has enough reasons, he can do the most incredible things. Connecting this with the experience that Vusi Tembekwewa had in his occupation of public speaking would bring a war enlightenment. He was so puzzled why he was invited yearly to the same place to give a seminar on basically the same thing. These people were paying him huge amounts, but considering the scene, we would say it was taken as a tradition, act, or some kind of entertainment. I bet churches are entangled in the same situation. Seminars, sermons, or lectures are given, but people's lives are truly not being transformed. Have you ever asked why is that? So Vusi and his team took out a research on this, and they found out some creative information that evidently appears to be oblivious to an average man. They found out that man is wired to look for information that confirms the deep beliefs they hold. So, those people aren't really attending the lessons to make the steps, but rather looking for evidence to support their status quo as they know it. Okay. Despite me being an amateur on the Bible, let me quote you an interesting scripture that says that man shall not live by bread alone, but by word also. From there, I think when a person is partaking on information, it doesn't mean that he's ready or wants to act on it. I don't think so. It might mean that he's just satisfying the craving of his spirit. We know that information unused is useless, but at the moment it is received, it brings all that juggling level of excitement. That is so dangerous, man, because one don't get to know when to stop and venture into actions. Naturally, man being wired for adaptability, he hates change and won't jump into a new discipline unless there is a push factor. We like the comfort in what is familiar to us and often resist due to fear of the unknown, potential risks, or a desire to maintain existing power structures or traditions. I remember when I was in Zambia, it's never crossed my mind that I would be willing to do my bachelor's degree in a new language. But after seeing the advantages that came along with it, the new language was then considered as not an hindrance. See, I challenged myself to a big challenge because the reasons for studying there got bigger than the language barrier. This simply just points out that for men to take actions, listening alone isn't enough. They need reasons for adhering to the new challenge. I like the way Jim Rohns puts it. He says, reasons comes first, answers comes second. Life has a mysterious way of hanging on to all the answers and to only give them up to people that are inspired by reasons. And we need to understand this, especially when we want our followers to take up actions. Say you are teaching a kid to be investing a certain percent of his money. Just telling him that invest, that won't do the work. You need to get him on the car, drive him around the ghetto, and show him the consequences of not saving or investing up a certain percentage of his money. In my opinion, an average man has plenty of intelligence, talents, and abilities to build himself, his desires, but if he just lack plenty of reasons to do it, he will be just as about the same as he was 5 years ago. I knew a very intelligent lady. She was extremely good at academia, and the reasons was to impress her parents who sacrificed everything they could just to give her good education. Now, unfortunately, tragedy occurred and both her parents died in an accident. And to shorten the story, the girl's motivations was vanished and she ended up dropping out of school. I think that might be one of the major reasons that our motivations or reasons for doing well must lies within us. Jordan Peterson says it in an abrupt way. He says, if you think you don't have the reasons, look around for something that bothers you and see if you can fix it. So now, this evening, if there isn't any way I can help someone who thinks he doesn't have enough reasons to pursue his dreams, I'll challenge you to answer only 2 questions, and from there you know the steps to take. Firstly, what got you turned on? What got you bumped other sides to wake up early and stay up late and did it all day? Why stay up late and burn the midnight oil? Next, what's got you turned off? Just those 2 questions. I believe they'll open a new perspective, and you likely have the reasons to why you should do what you should do.